No, I got to lean in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fabulous review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I am joined by my two fabulous co-hosts for the evening, Cortez and the lovely Dream. How are y'all today?
Lovely.
Good.
Excited. Happy.
All that I'm not going to
Positive
keep
energy for now.
for
Yeah.
now. It might not end that way, but for now, it's
Right.
positive.
It's gonna end positive with me. You know, we're gonna take it there, but you know, I don't let these things get to me like that. Because I'm in my square and in my house, and that does not affect me. But I have things to say.
Well, with that being said, this was a pretty explosive episode and very entertaining. So let's just dive right on in because we do have a lot to cover. So we start off with Chaotic is at this place where him and Eric are going to have a date. It's called Doodle Pie, but apparently he thought it was called Doodoo Pie, and the person at the place had to clarify that for him. And so then Erica Banks walks in. He gives her flowers. You know, he compliments her in his normal, excessive player manner. Um, this is their first official date, but as he clarified for us, not their first official link because that took place the night before. Um, you know, they enjoy the day, designing the pies, and they seem to have a really good time. So they sit down to eat them, and he begins to ask her what happened between her and Rennie Rucci. She recaps, you know, what happened to him, and you know, after doing some reflecting, she realized that Rennie's mother passed. So while she doesn't give Rennie a pass for that, she does seem to take it into consideration. Um, and again, they continue to have some good banter back and forth. And then he asks Erica to be his date to the official release party for his single. And Erica asks him how Amy would feel about that. And he says if Amy's upset about it, then it's obvious she wants more than friendship. And Erica tells him she's going to need more from him in terms of making it known that they're dating and that he needs to say something on the microphone regarding her that night. Dream, I'll start with you. What did you think about this opening scene?
I thought that the date was cute. I thought it was a cute idea for them to do something rather than just sit there and chit chat. I always think that it's nice when people are creative when it comes to the dates. I don't know about doodle pies, but doodle pies, noodle pies, whatever name, they should have changed it anyways. But I like Chaotic and Erica Banks together. I do like their vibes. I can tell that they're both goofy and they kind of understand each other's humor. I like the way that they click. Although they are like beating around the bush with Amy, I do like the fact that they are still doing them. I did catch Erica Banks say something about for the next time he needs to learn how to use condoms, and that kind of was alarming to me. Ma'am, not ma'am. Atlanta is high, honey. Regardless of whatever place, everywhere is high. You need to be careful, regardless of however much you like people. But I'm sure she knows that. I think that's all I have to say. I kind of just like them together. I wasn't even thinking about like Amy, to be honest. Amy and Chaotic situation.
I'm gonna say this. I was surprised to see that they actually did a date. I'm surprised he's taking this step to try to be serious, at least appearing to do so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do appreciate Erica. Well, I'll start by saying this too, actually. In this scene, is the first time I realized that Erica is not that attractive to me. I was looking at her. Maybe it was the makeup, but of all the scenes she's done, this is the first scene I was like, she kind of looked like a naked mole rat, like in the face. Like I just kept seeing. It wasn't given. I feel like the makeup was off for her because maybe also because most scenes we see her in, they're like in a club or they're in a studio and it's darker, but it was like daylight. We've seen other scenes of her in daylight, but this time I was like, yeah. But nonetheless, her comment about Rennie Rucci, and how she acknowledged how she might have what might have triggered her. I thought that was, big of her to say. And then also about her saying that that's not an excuse. That's very true. That's not an excuse, to have a drink thrown on you in any kind of way. I do agree with that. But even then, I mean, I think in this moment, to be honest, she's not gonna be receptive to anything that anybody has to say because the drink was already thrown. So now it's just like, you spit in my face. I have nothing to say to you, and I understand that. But as far as them, I wasn't thinking about Amy, but I did catch production throw the scene at the beginning of her saying that she had no interest in being or liking or talking to chaotic in any kind of way. And then we get this scene, so it was just like a girl, you lying. And I wish she wouldn't have lied because now you're gonna it's gonna I mean she can easily be like, it is what it is, but just know that once upon a time you said you were not interested, you didn't want this man. And whether or not you and Amy were friends or not, I feel like that's some kind of code that maybe have been broken, you know what I'm saying, to where now Amy could just be like, girl, I don't want to F with you ever again. So that's all I got from this scene, to be honest. But it was very interesting in them date. And chaotic, he was showing his little softer side. We heard him say so many times that he want both of them, but now he's showing that he kind of wants her all the way. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't know.
So I agree with you. I caught that flashback scene, and I'm like, it would have been, in my opinion, like you said, even if she didn't tell Amy at the time that she was interested in him, it could have simply been, well, I don't know yet, I don't really know him, or a girl, that's none of your business, we're not friends. Like one of the, for Erica to be as straight up as she claims to be, that would have been the better, response. But also by the same token, Amy wasn't being honest with her either about her wanting chaotic either. So it's kind of.
No, I agree, but she's actually the one that's now dating this man. And so, I mean, they both they were both dishonest. We talked about that, but it's just like, Amy's not the one actually pursuing him. She was kind of, I think she was doing it because, when someone is taking something from you, all of a sudden it's yours, right? That was more so Amy. I don't think she really wanted chaotic for real, but it's the fact that she saw this person kind of creeping on. But realistically, I mean, Erica really obviously is pursuing him, and she was pursuing him in the moment when she said she wasn't. So she's been, to me, the most dishonest of the two. I don't know.
I can agree with that. I also, I don't know. I like their energy when they're together, but this thing was also kind of boring to me. Like, they don't have like anything that I really want to see develop any further. And not saying that I want this to happen, but what I know will be entertaining is them two getting in an argument whenever it happens. I believe that will be entertaining. But other than this, it was just a nice opening scene.
I did like that Erica said she needed him to point out that she's the special girl in his life during the performance. She spoke to him ahead of time, like, you need to shout me out. And he said, what did he say? He said, I'll do this and you'll know it's you. I'm like, all right, Erica, there's a red flag right there, honey.
But I think more so that's her way of testing. Will he do that in front of Amy? Because she knows it's going to be Amy there. I feel like if Amy wasn't in the picture, wasn't involved, she wouldn't. Right. She might not have said that.
That's also to test how serious he is, if he's willing to say it in front of her.
Yep. So anyways, we move on and we get to a scene with Jock and his son. And, Jock is asking his son to be the hype man for his huge sold out show that's coming up. And Jock says his mom is going to be there to support him, and because she's his biggest fan. They do a little bit of flashback, and Jock is in the confessional talking about his mother having had cancer and beating it before, but the doctor said it has come back and has spread to her brain. And you can tell Jock is very heartbroken. He says it's important to make the best of the time with his mom because he doesn't know how much time there is left. His mom says she feels fine, even if the doctor says they can't do anything else because they can't get any more radiation into her head. And she says she has to stay strong because she isn't ready to give up and is making the best of the situation. And they have a group hug. Cortez?
I don't really have any thoughts. My heart goes out to him because, I mean, that's a very sad story. Is she still alive now? I didn't do research. She's not.
I didn't look up.
She passed at the second week of August. So
okay.
Recent.
Okay, so recent. So, rest in peace to her. I mean, cancer is just a horrible thing anyway, regardless of who has it's just horrible. So I'm glad that he was able to get the time with her. I think he said he was with her like 100% from that moment onward because he kind of knew that time was coming. So, prayers to him. It's been a minute now, but still, not a minute. It's still recent since it happened. So prayers to him, and that's very sad.
Yeah,
Diamond?
It is sad. In this specific scene, what?
I called you Diamond because I'm sorry.
We don't know who Diamond is. We know Brittany now. We don't know who Diamond is.
Right.
I like that name. Brittany, it was cute for her. But I liked that the son got up to give his grandma a hug. Like, even though they were in the same house, like, I'm pretty sure they've been in the house, like, the whole time together. Something about that moment just made me feel like they actually understand and appreciate the value of a human life. I feel like sometimes when people find out, like, people have illnesses, they kind of, like, distance themselves and, like, give them space. And I like that they didn't do that. Instead, they're, like, kind of, like, holding her in. I feel really bad for him to lose his mom, especially in that way. My heart goes out to him and his family for sure. But mothers, man, not all mothers, but I felt her when she said, all I can be is I can just be strong. That's the only thing I can do is try to be positive about it. She was sitting there with a smile on her face, being strong for them. So,
yeah,
man,
very happy.
God loves them. Like,
yeah. And you know, for me, what stood out is I love that, you know, Love and Hip Hop, even though we have a lot of these fiery moments, drama, fights, all this stuff, they always manage to put in something heartwarming and touching or serious. And I think with that, they always provide a good balance, because this was a touching scene. And with you letting us know, Dream, that she did pass, I feel like that's, if Jock watched the episode last night, I bet that had to be really, really tough for him to watch. Like, you know, seeing her on stage, seeing her like that on the screen. But yeah,
I'll say this too: Love and Hip Hop is back. Okay, it is very, you know, I'm not recapping it because because of this platform. It is a very good season, and I think whoever's producing over there
can come to Atlanta.
The budget is going up, but like they're giving us a variety. It's not just drama. You know, earlier in the season it was okay, but now all the storylines have kind of come, you know, have made a full circle, and we're seeing explosive blow-ups. We're seeing these scenes with Jock. You know, we saw family dynamics with what's her name, with Amy and stuff like that. Like, we're seeing a lot of different things. So I think that this is probably one of the better seasons of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in a long time. And for TV purposes, like people be like, you know, go watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for this hood stuff in the ghetto, whatever. They actually, it's really not giving that. It's actually
well-rounded.
It's some good content. So this scene that's another, you know, point of evidence.
I think for me, I agree with you, because I think for me the biggest thing is this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Every scene makes sense. Before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you'd have a bunch of different scenes thrown together and it was not flowing right. You'd be like, well, what? I saw this scene 3 episodes ago and never heard about it again. You know?
Yeah.
Is this his first season with MTV?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, they can use these producers over on Housewives of Atlanta, but anyway.
They could use, because baby, when it comes to Black TV, I'm more tuned in over here than I am anywhere else right now, and I'm just saying, it's
that and Bell Collective for me.
Bell Collective is good too. I'm not watching this season. Like, I watched the first 2, but I'm gonna catch up. But yeah, it's given.
Well, we move on to Spice showing up in her signature blue, going to meet Shekinah. They begin talking about Miami, and of course, the topic leads to Erica. And, you know, Shekinah says that Erica feels Spice shaded her by taking a picture with Safari and Amara. Spice says she shouldn't feel any kind of way about that because she knows that her and Amara are friends. Spice has her issues with Safari and is taking it out on her. Shekinah says that Safari really isn't to be trusted all the way, especially with what he had texted Sierra. Spice says she doesn't know what's going on, especially with Safari, because he also said he wants to be with her. But Spice says that is not a man she wants and will ever want. Spice says she's also upset she's been advocating for Erica, and Erica was upset that Safari was crying over Spice's accident and the fact that she might not make it. She says Safari sent her the voice notes, you know, about her, and that she says she always fought for Erica because she knows what it's like to be a single mom and was always holding Safari accountable. Spice says that she now knows that Erica doesn't really like her after hearing the voice memo and the things that Safari has told her that Erica has said about her. Shekinah then asks if she can set up a lunch for them to talk, and Spice says she is willing to hear Erica out and see what she has to say. Cortez?
So this scene, I had a lot of thoughts. so I appreciate Shekinah because Shekinah was really trying. She was really speaking with a sound mind here. She was definitely trying to get Spice to be like, that may be your friend, but this man is a shiesty man. And so, yeah, she wasn't really advocating for Erica, but she was advocating more so for a self-respect to know that Safari may not be the person he's presenting himself to be. Just like Erica, they both have some very toxic traits. I think that's why I think their fall was because of both of them. They just were not meant to be together, and that's very true in many relationships, right? And so, but Spice, it's like Spice is a very smart person, but in this scene, she was not given smart girl because everything she would sit here and say, things that she went to talk to Safari about paying a child support, but then she also feels like, Erica doesn't like her because of this voice memo. And then she said that he wants me too. So if you know that at this point there's two people that there's Erica's friend C Erica that he has allegedly tried to talk to, and he's trying to talk to you, then Spice, you should be able to put two and two together to know that he is playing all of y'all at this point, because that's what the men do on this show. They play these women. They do on this show. The women get, because it's like the men be puppet masters, and Safari is another puppet master, just like fucking Scrappy. So, excuse my language. And so I just didn't understand why, of everything Shekinah was saying, Shekinah may not be the brightest, but she made so much sense in this scene. Probably the most sense she's made since she's been on the show. And Spice, it was never hitting Spice's mind of any of that. She just kept disregarding everything while having evidence in her face, in her blue face.
You know, as Jamie says, even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's one of Jamie's favorite sayings. And you're right about Shekinah. She's not smart, but she's right here. Another thing to me, Cortez, when it comes to why he can't be trusted, if I was Spice, when they were talking in Miami and he was saying it was serious enough between him and Amara for him to buy her kids Rolexes, but then it's not serious enough that what goes on between him and Erica ain't none of Amara's business. You know what I mean? Like, that alone should let you know the man is a dog. And they says there's no commitment between, so whatever. But Dream, sorry.
I feel like in this specific scene, Shekinah was just being the middleman. She was being a little bit messy to me, not messy in the sense of trying to start drama, because she low-key was the one who started the drama last episode, because she's the one who brought the information to Erica at Spicy's event. And then knowing Erica and how Erica reacts to everything, she's going to explode and make a scene, which she did. So to me, last episode, that was Shekinah's fault. And I feel like in this scene, Shekinah is trying to play cleanup. Like, oh, dang, I kind of did start that. Let me go ahead and get them two together and talk, because it wasn't supposed to go down like that. That's not how she pictured in my head. I feel like that's not how she pictured in her head going down. It should have been more of a conversation from Spice, because Spice kind of just walked away from the situation last episode. So I feel like Shekinah is kind of doing some makeup right here. Like, oh, girl, last time y'all met up, like this happened. So let me go ahead and get y'all two together so we can just talk about it. That's how I seen it come across. But as far as Spice, I don't know why Spice mentioned that Safari said he kind of wanted to hit on her, try to like talk to her like that, because he did say it. He did say it on camera. Was he being serious? Was he joking? I felt like he was kind of just like throwing it out, like jokingly throwing it out there, like, Spice, like they already think I'm a hoe. Let me go ahead and just say it to you too. That's kind of how I took it. But if he really did want her, then that's messed up. But yeah.
Do I think
she kind of didn't do it for me in the scene?
Do I really think he wants her? Probably not. Do I think he would smash her if he could? Sure. And that's what I mean by wants her. I'm not thinking like relationship stuff like that. But I mean, I'm a homosexual man, but heterosexual men and men in general,
they'll do.
We're gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'm speaking for men in general. So yeah.
But I think Safari is very calculated, and anything that would garner a headline, he would do, because he loves publicity and he loves the spotlight. I also think you both are right about Shekinah. Cortez, I think you're right that she was talking with sense and making some very good points. But Dream, you're also right. She was being messy. But as she was last episode, but if we really think about it, what other purpose does Shekinah have on the show? She doesn't have her own storylines. We never see anything going on with her life. Her purpose on this show is to be the bone collector and the shit stirrer.
Yeah.
She serves, so she has to make that happen. So yeah.
Okay.
So now we're at Chaotic, his single release party.
Wait, how many release parties is this not the same song?
It's the same song, but the other one that he was shooting a video for it.
But I thought he had another release. It was another
Well, I guess maybe that's why he calls this one the official single release.
I'm tired of this damn song. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did say that this was the official because even though he did something before, you're right.
I think the first one was like a listening, just hearing it.
Well, that's all we did this time because he didn't perform it because then when that mic was away from his mouth.
Everything.
Is there a video?
Every one of these are listening parties. We're listening. We hear it. The Chaotic. Damn.
So anyway, he did say the event was going to be sold out, and it definitely was sold out and packed up in there. He gets on the mic, the only time the mic is on, and thanks everyone for showing up and supporting him. And then we see Amy and Mama D talking, and Diamond walks up. Her, Amy greet each other. Chaotic goes into lip syncing his song and is lip syncing to Erica Banks most of the time, and is making it known that she's in the building as she wanted. They interact a little bit after the performance, and Amy's looking at them and can tell they're more than friends at this point. She knows they have done more than the studio link-ups because she sees their energy and feels Chaotic should have told her. Sierra then walks up and greets them. They're happy to see each other. Sierra walks up and greets Chaotic, and they're happy to see each other despite their last run-in. Sierra talks to Erica a little bit about the Rennie situation, and Erica asks does Rennie feel that she was wrong? And Sierra says absolutely, that Rennie does say she wishes she never acted the way she did. You can tell Erica's not really here for that and is not ready to talk to her. Then Chaotic and Scrap have some conversation, and he tells Scrap that Sierra's there. Scrap said it ain't got nothing to do with him, and Chaotic says no, but he cleaned his face with her when it comes to their slight altercation. Scrap then brings up the fact that Chaotic and Bambi follow each other and tells Chaotic not to be fake with the situation. Chaotic says he made his peace with Bambi as well because he doesn't want to make anyone feel he's trying to tear up their happy home. I don't know what happy home he's talking about because theirs wasn't happy. And then Chaotic and Scrap walk over to speak to Mama D, and they say hi to Diamond and Amy. And Chaotic sees Amy. He notices she's there with a man and feels that man doesn't compare to him. Amy then asks Diamond if her and Scrap have been intimate, and Diamond says no, and everyone would know that if they were. Amy doesn't buy it at all. Chaotic tells Diamond that someone wants to talk to her, and it turns out to be Sierra. But before we go on to Sierra and Diamond's conversation, let's recap this first part because it's a lot already going on. So I wanted to break it up into two. So, Dream, I'll start with you. What did you think about this first part?
There's a lot of factors here, and Chaotic was moving. Chaotic was from person to person to person to person. He is needed for sure. He is the MVP to me of this season because he knows everything and is telling everything and is setting up everything. But you can tell that Amy was a little bit upset at the way that Erica Banks and Chaotic were vibing. She kind of had a look on her face. The guy that she was with, was that her ex? Because she said something like, "What are you? Something about worried about us rekindling things." Yeah. Y'all rekindle. I'm like, wait, did she bring this guy here to make Chaotic jealous? She already peeped. I mean, she already peeped that he was messing around with Erica.
It worked. Huh? It worked.
Oh, that's true. They put the pictures up side by side, and I was like, who looks better? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'll see. Yeah, but go ahead.
Me too. And it ain't Chaotic to me, but.
Okay.
Yeah, so Amy was upset. For Amy to barely have met Dime right then and there, I thought that was kind of weird that she just asked her straight up, like, did y'all smash? And whenever Diamond said no in her confessional, to me, I'm like, Amy, if you can clock that these two have messed around and you ain't met this girl one day in your life, why can't you clock Chaotic and Erica that are right before your face and you're heavily involved in the whole situation? But that's never... Amy, it doesn't surprise me when it comes to just like the blatant obvious things that are in front of her. But I think that's all. That's how I felt. Scrappy looked drunk as hell at that bar. He looked like he couldn't keep his eyes open. I didn't know if he knew what he was saying. But yeah. Dime looked good.
She did. Quartet.
I'll say that the other guy definitely looked better than, and, you know, I do find Chaotic to be slightly attractive. However, the side by side, I would go with the other guy. But that's just me, you know. I have my own takes
I
here.
was
Um,
squinting.
not saying Chaotic is unattractive, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna go with that. As far as this whole thing, I mean, I don't really. So yes, it did work, I guess. But I don't know why she put all the energy into making him jealous. It's just like, girl, you kind of already lost the battle and the fight and the war. Like, he's already with dating this girl over here, and he's already basically saying to her, like, she gonna have basically he's already. So Amy has no case because she presented to be his friend. Then she presented to be his little side thingy or whatever little piece. And he had, now that she's done both, he's sticking with, well, she wanted to be my friend. You know, I think he might have tried to talk to her had she done it when that window was open, but now that window is closed, it seems like. Or at least it's cracked a little bit, you know, because now Erica Banks with her baby hairs have come through the window, and now she's in the house. So I just feel like, you know, I don't know why Amy will be doing all that. Girl, focus on something else, like focus on your music or something like that. Just, you've lost it. You've lost that fight, because it was a fight and it was a battle between them two. That's all I really have. My main thoughts are for the next scene. And kudos to Sierra for getting over that with Chaotic. He was not really involved in, like, that comment, you know, I'm not your knight in shining armor. That's very true. Like, you know, I'm not. And so I like that she did come and support him, because remember earlier she ended up coming and leaving when, you know, after that. And I guess she had time to see she can be mature a little bit, I guess, sometimes. Maybe.
I think it's hard to stay mad at Chaotic too, because when he does get into it with somebody, you don't really see him go below the belt either. You don't, he just says how he feels without being disrespectful. Now, I wholeheartedly disagree with you about Amy losing the battle. I really feel that Chaotic went to Erica because she's the easier one to get right now. I think that his heart is with Amy, and if Amy was to snap her fingers and say, I'm going to give this a shot, let's be for real, he will drop everything and run over to Amy.
But as
you saw, he said he ain't giving up hope on the polyester either.
But she's showing that she cares by doing all this. So why would he, like,
he don't want to work for nothing. He feels that he should just get it from her just like that.
Well, nobody ever wants to do the work, right? You know, this is what happens. And so
Erica's the easier one. I'm not saying she's easy. I'm not using that about her. What I'm saying is she's the easier one. She's the easier one to get, because they both making each other jealous. And what I did appreciate, which was big of Amy, she did not sit there and say, I knew Erica was lying. She didn't tell. What she said was, he should have told me. She expects loyalty from him and what's going on, because they actually have a friendship and some history. So she expected him to be honest, which I did appreciate that aspect of it.
Did y'all see him basically be messy again by saying, you know, rekindled, and looked at Scrappy and Diamond, and they like, what you mean we rekindled? And I'm like, oh my God.
And Kendall.
I'm like,
I will say she's prettier than Bambi.
Who?
Diamond. Brittany is prettier than Bambi.
She's a pretty girl. Yes, she is. Yes.
All right, so we will move on to a very interesting but immature scene.
I loved it.
Me too. That's what I said. So Diamond and Sierra, they step aside to talk, and they just look at each other for a second. And so basically, Sierra just steps and asks, well, why were you, I saw what you were saying on social media. And so Diamond says, well, yeah, I saw you. I'm going back and forth with Scrap, and you mentioned my names a couple of times, pointing your finger at him like that. And Sierra, I love this. She says, yeah, I did that. I had loved when she said that so much. And Diamond says, yeah, that's fine. I understand you're with the horsey, referring to Bambi. Not gonna lie, I kind of fell out. You can tell Sierra doesn't like her calling Bambi that and feels it's immature. And then Brittany, aka Diamond, says she didn't know that her and Sierra had history because Sierra has a baby with the person who I guess took Diamond's virginity. She says she didn't recognize her because she looks so different now, and which is obviously taking a dig at all the work Sierra has had. And Sierra says you're supposed to look different and not look like 2012 or whatever year she said. She said Diamond still looks the same, and that's not necessarily a good thing. They, go back and forth a little bit more about Bambi and Scrap, and they can't seem to come.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Oh, sorry, my Siri. And they can't seem to come to an understanding. Diamond says that Diamond gets up and starts talking about how she looks, and you can tell she takes shots at Sierra's face because she says, "Look how I look, and I've never had any facial injections." And again, they go back and forth some more. And Sierra says, "On some real ish, I can shut you down on any day." But Sierra just basically gets fed up with the immature Diamond's conversation because she keeps referring to Bam as horsey and walks away. And Diamond says, "Come back, don't run, come back and have a conversation." Cortez, what did you think about this scene?
This scene was probably my favorite scene of the episode, probably of the season, because it really, I'm not gonna lie, it almost gave me Housewives, because the way they said that, they both were given it at the beginning, right? And I'm gonna say I'm proud of Sierra, because Sierra usually in any confrontation, she does not deliver. The one time I've ever seen her really deliver was when she hit Carly Red with the purse. That was like a couple seasons ago, right? Or what was it? Who is Shooter? Well, no, that random girl she hit with the purse.
The random girl.
I've seen her really rise to the occasion. But in this moment, I'll say that Diamond was ready. It's like she knew that she was gonna be talking to her, and she came ready. Sierra, you do not look the same you did in high school, baby. You look like a whole nother person. That is just very true. The pictures have been circling. Let's remove the picture from the show. The people have put their own pictures together from even the first season you came on, and you don't even look the same from when you first came on the season. So damn. And in high school, she was beautiful. I can't say the same right now. She's not an ugly girl, but those lips and that face is just so hard. As far as the show, I mean, this scene, Sierra, you came to this girl, you had this whole mindset of you're gonna sit down and get her together, and you didn't get her together. You walked out. So you lost this battle.
Diamond won.
Diamond is not even a cast member, but Diamond was ready for her. And Sierra, when you tell someone you can shut them down, just like her, okay, shut me down. At this point, that's just like saying I'm a square up. At this point, let's forget what we're talking about. Square up. So in this case, shut me down. That's what Diamond was saying. Shut me down, and she couldn't. The horsey comment was taking me out because it was pissing her off. It was the fact that Diamond was trying to she basically was like, why you didn't tell your friend horsey, as if Sierra was supposed to use the word horsey. And then I'm not gonna lie, when she made the comment about why didn't you confront your friend about her confronting a minor, I was kind of on her side, like, okay, you want to be righteous, you want to defend things. Why? I mean, to be honest, to some people that's not right. We didn't hear her say anything about her talking to Imani, the comment, anything like that. So the bottom line is, mind your business, Sierra. Like, she wants to sit here and act like she's a ride or die friend, and she might be. But if you look at what is happening in current time, she's no longer friends with Bambi or Erica Mena, and you're riding so hard for these people. This is why people need to mind their business. And when it comes to relationships like that, you can be a ride or die friend, but you need to learn how to, know when to lean out. You can't always be leaned in that case. And I think that, Sierra was going to she had to learn for herself in real time that, you can't go to bat for people like that 100%. Be supportive, but don't overstep any boundaries, because then you end up looking crazy. And we all have to learn that sometimes. She learned it, but Diamond ate her up. Sorry.
real quick, Jim, before you go, Cortez, I agree with that 100%. I think Sierra is ride or die, but I think she can be extreme. I've learned that when it comes to your friends or whatever, ride or die in any situation, especially relationship ones, you be there for them when they talk to you, give good counsel, but you don't get involved in actually insert yourself into the business, especially not without your friends. Okay,
that sit down should have been between Diamond and Bambi. It shouldn't have never been Sierra and Bambi. Just like anything Sierra's done this season it should have been Bambi in her spot. She's doing her dirty work. They're basically, I mean, at this point, why is Bambi on the show? Because she got her friends doing all her scenes.
especially when it's a divorce involved, like an actual divorce and kids and stuff. Like, stay out of there.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
Dream.
sense.
I agree. Excuse me, but I agree that Dime ate her up. I was like, what was I saying? Dime. I feel like Dime came prepared. I mean, she looked good. She doesn't have any injections. You kind of have to know, and I feel like she's one of those people. You kind of have to know what someone's gonna throw at you. What flaws do I have that someone's gonna say? Because like you just need to be prepared for your responses. And it seemed like Dime did. She said, "What is Sierra was trying to make comments about her, but saying that she looked like 2005. What was Dime like 19, 20 in 2005? Like that's not really an insult, and I don't feel like Sierra understood. Now she said you look raggedy like you did in 2005. Okay, but she didn't say that. I do agree with Cortez when you said that it should have been Bambi and Dime having that conversation, but I do understand why Dime had the conversation with Sierra, because Sierra was bringing up Dime's name over having relations or sexual relations with somebody. And like I said, last time we all spoke, if you mention someone's name about having sex with them, they have the right to clear their name. They have the right to come up to you and say to have a conversation about that. Because why are you walking around here talking about my sex life and you're lying as is? Don't try to add a body, girl. If you want to deduct a body, that's fine, but don't try to add a body. But Sierra, when she said that she looked the same, I can't get past that part because I'm like, girl, you're really sitting here lying in our face. Like, we don't have research. Like, we don't have computers, yearbooks. Like, there's a, what? You do not look the same, and it's no shade. You look good. I feel like she looks good now. I feel like she looked good then.
Who looks good?
Sierra Cortez.
See, you're the reason why.
I feel like she looks good now. I feel like she looked good then, but I do feel like she needs to own it. Just own it. Yes, you did get your fillers. You did get whatever. I do look different, but I still look good. Like, girl, you need to say something. I feel like when Dime caught her with that, Sierra kind of like shut up. And she's like, I can say so much about you. Well, say it. Clearly, you don't have anything to say because she didn't say it. I do want to peep. Did you catch Dime and Mama D calling Bambi a horse, and they started making the horse noise? I was like, they're so petty. But I do agree that Sierra needs to back up. It wasn't really her situation. She's telling Dime, mind your business. That's not your man. But Sierra, that's not your man either. You need to mind your business. So I do agree with Dime having a conversation with Sierra, or like accepting the conversation. But Sierra, if you're going to initiate a conversation, you need to be that girl, and you need to kind of go there. She didn't, to me.
Can I make a comment? When they, so I will say this: Diamond or Brittany, whatever she wants.
Oh yeah, Brittany.
Those shoes that she had on, please don't wear those again, because you know Sierra made it say that you look dated and you look tacky,
and she did.
But it was very implied, and when they panned on her, production knew that she looked dated and tacky, all the way down to those.
What was she wearing for the shoes?
Those little kitten heel corner roach killer things that she had on.
I would have rather see her some Jordan or some Air Force Ones.
So Diamond, I'll say this: Diamond or Brittany, she's a beautiful girl. She's pretty, but her style, I'm not gonna lie, I side with Sierra. She looks very
2012.
32 Flavors of this bootylicious bubblegum dated. She looks like she is still rocking her hips. She looks dated.
And waving and sip.
Yeah, she's doing all of that. No.
What I will say is that I agree with you all. I agree that Sierra definitely lost this round. Like, no doubt about it. But I think it's also been my favorite Sierra scene this whole season.
I agree.
It's been my favorite scene of hers for two reasons. A, whenever Sierra gets into it with somebody, it's always very rah-rah and loud. And her point, she never gets her point across right when she does that. So I felt like she got to sneak a few in. And I really love the way she just said, I did that. I love the way she said it so calm and just so badass. Like, that just really tickled me so much. But that's all I really have to say. I really feel like this little beef between them just now was kind of dumb in a sense. I felt it was very stupid, but I'm glad for the stupid little beef because it gave us a very entertaining scene. Is all I got to say on that.
Change those and Diamond.
And Dream, when you mentioned about Mama D and Diamond doing that horsey thing, I feel like Mama D should be ashamed of herself because regardless of what you feel about Bambi, that is the mother of your grandchildren that you love. And if your grandchildren ever see this in the future and see the way you was making fun of their mama, that's not good. They're not going to be on your side about that. Trust me. They're not. They're going to instantly side with their mother. So you need to be thinking about these kids that you say you love so much.
Can we say that Mama
Well, that's
D?
the same.
Can we say that Mama D could also be? It can be implied that she looks like a horse sometimes too. I mean, come on now. She don't look like she's just human. She could be a donkey or something.
Chaotic said
she could look like that.
Listen, let's err on the side of caution and not say that a black woman looks like an animal. We have enough of that this season.
Oh no.
I didn't say. Now,
I'm just messing with you.
Oh no, not a roach.
No. Corner roach. So the shoes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what is going on?
The corner. You never heard of the term corner roach killers? Like little pointed, like.
Yeah, like point. Yeah, like.
Yeah, but
I'm weak. So anyway, so now we have Jock and Kendra, and they're headed to his performance. And while they're in the car, Kendra decides to break the news to him that she invited Sierra and Bambi, and Jock makes it very evident that he does not like that because this is a big night for him and his mom. And he doesn't want drama and will prefer that Bambi and Scrap run into each other on their own terms and not because it looks like his wife set that up. Kendra says she doesn't care. She says Bambi is still family regardless of what her and Scrap are going through. So they arrive and Scrap and Jock get talking, and Scrap begins to make fun of Jock for his social media post where he was crying. Jock reveals that his mom has cancer again, and Scrap instantly feels horrible and regrets not being there for him because Jock is always there for him with no hesitation. Jock tells him it's cool, I'm not upset. But with that being said, he tells him that Bambi and Sierra were invited by Kendra. And again, Scrap said that ain't got nothing to do with me. And the tight face squad will not bother him tonight. And I kind of was tickled by that a little bit. So they then have the performance, and the crowd definitely is huge, and the crowd is vibing, and the performance was a good one. And Jock was so happy to have his mom in the audience and see her having such a great time. Scrap also has a good time performing, and he said he enjoyed feeling so free. So after the performance, Bambi walks up to greet Kendra and Jock while Scrap is there. She doesn't say hi to him directly, and her and Scrap basically ignore each other, thankfully. And Kendra asks Bambi when was the last time her and Scrap talked. Bambi tells her when and says they don't have to engage when they see each other. So as Kendra begins to ask her about the divorce, Sierra walks up and Bambi's telling Sierra, yeah, I was just telling her, I'm sorry, before that, Bambi mentions that Scrap has his mistress as a witness in the divorce case. And then she tells him that she could really sue Diamond because in Georgia you could sue the mistress, but what would she sue her for? I didn't make out what Bambi said, but I know Sierra said a bone because basically all she is sticks and bones. But I couldn't make out what Sierra said. What am I going to get from her? And she said something about I couldn't make it out. I rewinded it 3 times and couldn't get it. Diamond, Dream, what did you think about this?
All right,
I was just looking down to see Diamond's name again.
Not Diamond.
That's hilarious. She's pretty, so I don't even mind it. But I don't know why I said that. I do mind it. I'm just kidding. But as far as I feel like maybe that's kind of why Jock was Jock kind of has been real chill and level-headed this season. He was being the voice of reason to them a couple of episodes ago. Was it Sierra, I believe? So I definitely like the fact that, I don't know, maybe it's like the situation with his mom, but he's been very calm. I do like the fact that Scrappy acknowledged him and acknowledged that he hasn't been there for him and that he will try to be there for him. I appreciated that little moment. I don't understand why Bambi walked up. I do understand why Bambi walked up to Jock's wife, but at the same time, I'm like, girl, you want an argument. You want Scrappy to see you. The way that her body was too, it wasn't even like she tried to cut the girl off this area. She literally walked up to the group and was kind of like, hey, everyone. She said hey to everyone except for Scrappy, which is understandable. But at the same time, we all know that when you do that to people, you're making it awkward. You're trying to make it awkward. So I kind of didn't like that Bambi low-key was baiting Scrappy to be put in a situation by just doing that. She could have called her over there to be unproblematic, and just knowing that Scrappy was literally maybe 2 feet away and she was discussing their business with this woman 2 feet away, I didn't respect that, to be honest. I couldn't catch what she said either about suing. I thought she said a phone. I didn't even know she said a bone, but I couldn't catch what she said either. But to sue a mistress, who did that?
Bone. It was Bone, because she said when Diamond was sitting there talking to her, she all skins and bone, and all she saw was cat clacking.
These girls. Someone famous sued their mistress. Who was it? I think they won.
Well, I know the lady said she was going to sue Nene.
I think it was Fantasia. Who sued the mistress, and I think she won.
Because in North Carolina you can, or wherever they're from.
But I'm like, Bambi is being very dramatic, in my opinion, for her reaction to anything. I don't even know why she went. I do understand your friend invited you, but at the same time, you know Scrappy's going to perform. You know the type of music that he has. You don't have to show up, and I feel like you shouldn't show up, to be honest. I understand the reasoning. She's trying to be petty. Like, I'm still going to go out and do me. No, girl, you can move around. Like, I feel like all of that was so unnecessary. But I do want to say that next time they have a concert or something, I think I might want to go, because even just hearing like a little snippet of like the old songs, I'm like, oh, dang, that brings back so many memories. I may not want to be in the crowd. Maybe a little corner ducked off, because I ain't trying to, rah, but I was like, oh, okay.
I really don't have any comment about this scene, to be honest. I really don't. I'm just kind of ready for the next one. So
I didn't have either, but I do want to talk about the comment Sean that's just had. I kind of agree with Sean. I don't remember knowing that you can sue a mistress in Georgia. There would be so many more lawsuits happening there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that Bambi was accurate in stating that. I agree with Sean on that. All right, well, down to the capital MESS. So Spice and Shekinah, we opened up with them sitting down, already chilling, and then Erica joins them. Erica greets Shekinah and lets Spice know she's going to give her a cheek on the kiss, but Spice pulls away from her. They begin to go back and forth over the safari situation, and Erica is just adamant that Spice was wrong. Spice asks her, was she upset that Safari was upset about what happened to her? And Erica says no. She was upset about it too. So upset that her, Bambi, and Sierra fasted for 2 days, and Shekinah's reaction took me out. Shekinah says, what? In shock and laughter. Y'all didn't do no damn fasting. And Erica told Shekinah, you should try fasting your damn self. And Erica says what she didn't like was Safari saying that he wouldn't know what to do, what he would do if Spice didn't make it. But Erica was pregnant with his baby and almost died, but didn't get that type of reaction from him. And Spice wants to know what was needed to compare both of them. And Spice says, because that has nothing to do with me. Spice then proceeds to tell Erica that she's the first one to get divorced and be a single mother. Spice says, I've been doing it for 14 years. And Erica says, I've been doing it for 16 years. And Spice says, well, with your son that doesn't like you, I will say just real quick, in this whole scene, Spice's hernia was not a problem. I just wanted to point that out. The hernia was not a problem here.
Well, she was sitting, until the table was thrown at her, and she almost,
and with that, Erica flips the table over. And Shekinah goes off about the table being flipped over, but I really think it was more about the food that she was going to eat than anything else. Erica says that Grace is officially dead in her book because she was given a second chance at life, and she chose to use that second chance to speak on her and her son, which I thought was such a dramatic thing to say. And that they will forever have beef. They yell some more while Shekinah is still screaming and looking down at the food on the floor. Erica is escorted out so that they can be separated, and she's yelling that Spice should have died. Spice is desperately trying to get outside to get to her, but so what Spice does is she goes to a window where Erica can hear her and yells to Erica, your son hates you, over and over and over. And Erica calls her a monkey, a blue monkey. And it instantly goes to a confessional of Shekinah saying she can't believe Erica called Spice a monkey and that she should have died. Shekinah says Erica kids are half Jamaican and would she like someone calling her kids a monkey. And then we have Spice saying that Safari is Erica's karma. And then Erica's asking, why does everyone have a problem with her son not wanting to be in the limelight? She says it's not her fault. And she has given her son what he wants because the last time she had him in the limelight, it didn't go well and he's still traumatized from that. Erica doubles down again as she's getting in the car leaving, calling Spice a monkey and even making monkey noises as it ends. And Spice just yells again at Safari, it's her karma. I will start off with you on this one, Cortez.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible with this. So, because it's a lot of things that happened in this scene. To start with the scene, I did holler when she told her she needs to fast. I don't know if that was a dig at her weight or a dig at her just fasting in general, but it was definitely it was hilarious because it shut Shekinah up. Shekinah was doing a lot of rah-rah from the side. It was like, Shekinah, hush. Like, I get it. You know, you don't think that they were as supportive as they're saying. Now, as far the issue between Erica and Spice, Erica is, I guess she probably would rather Spice not talk to Safari at all, right? She feels like as that's her friend. We haven't really seen them interact like that for real. So both of them are trying to show that they have been a friend to the other. We haven't seen it. So, you know, Spice can talk about all the voice notes that she or whatever, you know, trying to check on the whole thing about the child support and stuff like that. You know, that's one thing, whatever. But the issue with me is that I don't know. I just don't understand why this girl, you know, you people saying Spice is wrong for mentioning this child. Now, this is the second or third time we've heard someone throw that in Erica's face this season about her son. There's a lot of mystery behind her son. And obviously she admitted to in this episode that she said he doesn't want to be in the light. But in the way that Spice and everyone's presented is that he doesn't really care for his mother for whatever reason. Now, I am a true believer of, you know, you go low, you go to hell. But in this case, people are saying that, you know, Erica got Spice together. She didn't get Spice together with that comment. I don't know where y'all living at or what's going on. You can't be black because what she got together was an entire race by calling this girl a monkey. There are so many levels to read, and I can never dictate how somebody reads and responds, right? But if that's the first thing you can think of is a monkey, you know, then that's the same thing as, you know, a white person using the N-word as the first thing they think of when they get mad. It's the exact same thing. And for people that excuse that, my God, we're gonna be where we are forever. You should seek help too. I think they both were wrong. I do think Spice was definitely she should leave that situation alone. She is just as invested in that situation as I feel Sierra is with Scrappy and Bambi. She should leave it alone, but that does not excuse Erica calling her a monkey. Especially considering that Erica likes monkeys in her, you know, Latina vagina. She likes to deal and dab with monkeys all the time and stuff like that. So it just kind of showed who she was. And production knew exactly what they were doing because they put the words on the screen. And if you see, you know, in the next episode, everybody's upset about this monkey comment because that's horrible. That's not something that you want to say on national TV. You want to say ever. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I do, you know, I really wish that they would have been able to fight because I would have been curious to see, you know, Erica did have that vein in her head. It popped out, but I don't think she was ready for what Spice would have gave her had she got loose. I'll just say that. I'm not saying Spice is the big bad wolf here. You know, she's untouchable, but I do think she would have wore into her that monkey would have wore into her. And I'm not calling her a monkey. I'm just using what she said. But it was too much. As far as Spice and the comment about, you know, you act like you're the only one and stuff like that. I do feel I do agree with that too, because Erica, she's been dragging this storyline for so long. It's like, all right, get over it, because you want to be over it, you want to be out of it, but then we find out you accepting text messages and stuff like that. So then now it's not about that. Now it's about the child support. So just let this man go in peace. They said that the child support payments are current. So at this rate, after this whole season, I hope Erica really goes and heals and just goes away. Her and her wig can go away.
Yeah, I don't care where she go.
That is a big problem of her saying that. Despite there was so many things she could have went for, that was not a personal insult. That was an insult to an entire race. And that's the reason why she did not get Spice together. I'm just saying. She did not get her together. That's not it.
Dream.
This was a wild scene. It took let's start. Okay, I feel like Shekinah, I have there's a lot of things that really upset me during the scene. One thing that I can say is that there is nothing wrong with Erica's son not wanting to be on camera and her granting that wish. Cool, great. You're a mother. Listen to your child. If they don't want to be scrutinized by the public, I feel that. Cool. There's not an issue with that. When Spice is saying to Erica, your son doesn't like you, she's not talking about her son. She didn't say her son was ugly. She didn't say that your son was mentally ill. She didn't say anything like that to specifically target or talk about the son. She was talking about Erica's parenting. Girl, your son don't even like you. You're talking about my parenting. You said that I'm a single mom, or like I'm a single mother, and I've been doing it on my own for 14 years, 16, however long. I think Spice said 14 years for her. Erica came in giving Spice those accolades about children. Spice is basically saying, girl, you ain't me and I'm not you. Like, my kids like me, your kids don't like you. We're talking about parenting here. We're not talking about the children's characteristics and personalities. So for Erica to get that upset was very uncalled for, of course, right? But my thing is, her flipping the table, that's acceptable to me.
Sure.
Flip the table, girl. Try to fight Spice. Cool. But what crossed the line was her calling her a monkey, because that is no way in shape a personal attack. That's an entire group. You don't say those types of things whenever you're trying to target one person. When you make comments like a monkey, you're talking about Black people as a whole. And for the fact that Erica Mena can sit there on a Black platform with a Black ex-husband, getting some Black penis, with some Black kids, with her Black friends, and for her to utter those words out of her mouth was disgusting to me, because I hate when people fake ally. Don't fake ally. I don't like that. And I'm saying that with a lot of passion, because where I live in San Antonio, Texas. There's a lot of Hispanic, it's predominantly a Latino city. And there's Black culture everywhere that people try to go in and get comfortable with. And I get that. Who doesn't like the Black culture? That's cool. And I understand that we're welcoming to people, right? But I do have a issue whenever people get a little bit too comfortable and they think that, oh, like, I'm cool with you, but deep down I still have like these feelings. And clearly Erica Mena showed them. She wasn't, my issue is that, but also Shekinah. Shekinah's talking about the table. Girl, you hear her saying these things and you're not turning up?
What?
I understand that she wasn't part of the argument with Spice, but she still witnessed her call her a monkey. And you're just like,
no, she was outside.
You called her the monkey when she was outside. When Shekinah was fussing about the table,
and Spice kept yelling through the window, and Shekinah was not. She didn't even, okay. I felt like she was more so upset with Erica that Erica flipped the table than she was that Erica said those things. And I'm saying this for a reason, specifically with Shekinah, because Shekinah kind of has a history with being passive when it comes to some certain things. Yes, she has eyes and ears, so she can notice that these things happen. But as far as like actually holding people accountable, no. For my opinion, based on the past. Mm-hmm. So I just have a really big problem with that, because to me, it's like, that was so unwarranted and it really showed her true colors. I'm kind of happy that it happened. I'm kind of happy that it happened so we see her true colors. I'm happy that production actually showed it, because they could have edited it out. It annoys me whenever people have certain platforms and this is how they truly feel. This girl is literally on a Black platform and decided to call this Black woman a monkey. And for anyone who's over there trying to twist it and flip it, saying, oh, she said a blue monkey, she's saying she actually looks like one. There is no way, shape, and form in history when you can call a Black person of any shade a monkey. All of it's going to be a racial slur. So people who are sitting there trying to make an excuse, it's really disgusting to me, and it's sad even more whenever it's people of our own trying to make an excuse for why this girl got caught that. And I understand like going low and going to hell, but you go to hell for that individual, not an entire population of Black people. That's not okay. And I feel like she's not gonna, I don't know. It really frustrates me. I feel like, and I hate to say it, I feel like we as in Black people, yes, I am Black. If you have any questions, because I know someone questioned me before. Yes, I am. 100%. This is the light. It's making me look lighter. But I feel like we're a little bit too passive whenever it comes to stuff, and we need to like make some noise when it comes to this specifically, because whenever other people are making comments that are like homophobic, they get canceled, they get fired off those networks. Whenever people say racist stuff, they don't get fired, because a lot of times people aren't wrong. And I know I'm going off topic, but I just feel like we need to stay on her neck.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. So here's the thing. I'm going to say, for argument's sake, I'm going to agree with what everyone is saying, that Spice was wrong for mentioning her son in any capacity, okay? I'm going to give Erica that. I will say that I'm glad Spice did that, because it revealed how Erica truly feels about Black women. Because there are so many things that when I look at Spice, or that I could probably went after. Even if I wanted to attack Spice's appearance, you could have done it without being anti-Black. The issue is with people like Erica Mena and like an Evelyn Lozada, they claim to be Afro-Latina when it's convenient, when they don't have to fight for it, when they don't have to bear the struggles of being a Black woman. But when it comes down to having to bear those struggles, they're conveniently just Latina. Evelyn was on VH. She was a part of the VH1 show, and it didn't happen during the season, but she referred to the character, to OG, as a monkey. Off camera, no action was taken. So I do appreciate what VH1 did last night when they put that disclaimer up that they take these allegations, they take this action seriously, and they're going to, be looking into how they deal with it. I also agree that in the episode next week, the preview, we see that the cast is not letting her get away with it. I think both of you use examples I was going to use, because a lot of people were saying, oh, well, there's no rules when it comes to arguing. But again, if the first thing you use as the insult is no different than a white person uses the N-word as an insult. It's no different than when Kaya was getting into it with Bobby Lights. The first thing she did was call him a punk and all this other stuff. If that's the first thing you use because you think it's an insult, then you view the whole class of people like that. I think what's more upsetting to me about this whole thing is when I've seen, other Black people siding with Erica Mena. I think that's what's bothered me a lot about it, because they say, oh, well, she don't feel that way about all of them, about all Black people. She just feel that way about Spice. Yeah. I even had someone else say to me, well, maybe she just used Black women from the islands like that. Well, your daughter is a woman that's a girl that's half from the islands, so I guess you view her that way too, if that's the case. So yeah, now when it comes to the Shekinah thing, Dream, I gotta slightly disagree with you, because when Erica finally went outside and made that comment, we didn't really see any more Shekinah other than the confessional where she was holding her accountable. After that, all we really saw was Spice. They were focusing on Spice, so we don't know like what Shekinah said in the moment. Now, I can't agree with you in the sense of based on her past, and not holding people accountable, that it's possible she just didn't say nothing in the moment. But at least she did stand her ground in the confessional, which I think is big for Shekinah. I know you think that woman is just messy beyond all hell, but which she is, and you're right about that. But yeah, I was just really, well. I don't think she means well. But yeah, I was just really overall just disgusted because, I looked up where Erica Mena was from. Last night instantly I said, what's her ethnic background? And she's from, one parent is from Puerto Rico, one parent is from the Dominican Republic. Now, my family, my mom is Puerto Rican. Being around that culture and being back in Puerto Rico, I have seen how dark-skinned people get talked about and treated by the older generation. So Erica Mena knew exactly what she was doing when she called a dark-skinned Black woman a monkey. In both Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, that is how the older generation thinks.
Yeah.
So Erica Mena knew exactly what she was doing. She was not just talking about one black woman there. She was talking about all black women.
Yeah.
So
and I want to do one thing. People need all these comments talking about, oh, when you speak on my child, we need to really distinguish speaking on someone's child versus speaking on someone's parenting. I mean, I know it can be intertwined. But there are a lot of moments on reality TV where people feel like they can do and say whatever because you spoke on my child or whatever, blah blah. And to be honest, that whole thing about her relationship with her son, she gave the information up. Everybody knows that. It's just now that people are using it, because her whole storyline this season is about parenting. In this case, not getting child support. You know what I'm saying from whatever. So at the end of the day, Erica, Spice hit a nerve. She knew I don't think she went into that trying to do that, but it became about parenting and being a mother, being a single parent, and it just came out in that way. So like you said, Dream, the table flip, sure. Fight the girl, sure. But when you get into comments like that with slurs like that, girl, you revealed who you are, and I was gonna say you're trash. Erica Mena is trash. I've never really been a big fan of her anyway.
me neither.
I mean, she's always okay, but in this moment going forward, I have nothing for her, and whatever avenues get closed for her, it's deserved because you're on a public platform. You got to watch what you say. If I got on here and said
on a black show,
yeah, if I said some stuff on this platform, whatever happens to me, it happens because I said it. And either she gonna stand in it or I don't know what she gonna do. Because right now she probably still in jail, right? When she just in jail with Bambi.
Oh, she's out now, apparently.
Is she? Because she had no bond at first.
Well,
she's out now. I checked.
Well, she looks she looks a hot mess, and Safari is current on his payments apparently. So Erica Mena, you can go. You and your vein and your racial slurs and your son that don't like you allegedly, y'all all can go. We don't need you on this show.
You better pray that Tubi keeps her employed because I really do think that the preview we saw from next week is a segue into them probably giving us a disclaimer that Erica's no longer going to be on the show.
What's the difference between Spice saying your son don't like you and Erica Mena in Scrappy's face talking about child support and his responsibilities as a father and what he's doing and not doing?
None.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's exactly like
but
you.
Also,
yeah.
Also, I think we have to forget too. Did Spice really throw the first jab? Because to me, the first jab was thrown when Safari threw me them voice memos, and I saw what you said about me. That was the first jab to me. So Spice, as you could tell, she was sitting already, and she came with an open ear to listen to Erica, but Erica was still spouting bullshit and trying to be a victim. And excuse me for cussing, Cortez. Don't dock my pay.
Erica Mena was holding that in. You could tell that she'd been wanting to call Spice that, and I feel like seeing Spice and Amara, what's her name? Amara La Negra.
The fact that he likes two dark-skinned
women.
And he likes
and
both
you
of
see
them?
Spice. I mean, you see Safari in the middle. He's hugged up. It's everything Erica Mena. What can you? Amara is Latino.
She's
Latina.
She has a complex thing. She thinks she's the most beautiful thing in the world, and you can tell. Like you got race, you got colorism, all these things coming into play with her. Like she's a light-skinned Latino, Dominican, whatever woman, and she thinks that she is the prettier one over women like Spice and Amara. So it's just like, girl, you showed your colors. Now go away, please. I hope that MTV, VH1, whoever really hold her to the cross. I ain't got to see her at the reunion, to be honest. I don't have to see it.
Mm-hmm. They need to wash their hands and throw her away because there is nothing that Erica Mena could say. There is no apology that can excuse that. She made her bed, now she has to lay in it. And I'm gonna be coming for her neck every time. Shout out, love.
Somebody said, so I'm seeing comments. People are saying that that's not the first time she's used the term monkey.
She did on social media, and they even put a monkey picture up next to the girl. Yeah, so she's called people monkeys before, and she called people zoo animal. She literally said, you belong in a zoo, you zoo animal. She's said multiple things, and that's why it disgusts me so much that she still has a platform to talk.
Well, I
to
think
make
this
money off of.
might have been her final moment. I think
I think so too. I don't think
showed that because the world is in uproar about it, and the people that are supporting, like I said, y'all trash too. I'm sorry, y'all are trash, and if you don't feel insulted by that, then you are part of the problem. Whoever y'all are.
They may be another animal. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that she is done in this franchise. I don't see how the rest of this cast would be willing to move forward with her because not only is it a black show, but these people are on this show are blackity black. Like they're very all about take pride in themselves and all that. Even if we say they engage in trash behavior, sometimes one thing they are always shown to be very proud of is being black. So
Yeah.
I don't see her being able to move forward with this.
Love and Hip Hop has never gone to this. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on Love and Hip Hop. We see it across other shows. Yeah, like we don't really see that on this. We see a lot of other scandals and things being said, but never like racial slurs on there. You know what I'm saying? Because typically they're all black, and then you get Erica Mena in the mix, who's like not. So it's just like, yeah, no, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can. Her and her hungry looking body can go because she's still fasting.
How's she calling people monkeys, but is darkening her skin?
Those always be the ones. So.
Erica would want to be a monkey. She would prefer to be a monkey. That's why she likes her for JJ.
And I'm so sorry. Do we have any callers?
I put the link in there twice. I don't think so. I would like to hear some thoughts, but if we don't have any, that's totally fine. So yeah, but that's all I have to say on this. We could go on this all day. She was out of line. Spice, you were not. I don't even think Spice even felt red. I think Spice just really wanted to get to her. And I'm just gonna say, I really wish Erica. I mean, Erica is lucky that Spice could not get to her because I think that she would have wore her out. Not even from being called a monkey.
Spice just had a lot of frustration in her that she.
And that already occurred, and she was ready. We do have one caller like now.
All right.
All right. So our caller is Sir Capricorn. Hey,
Sir Capricorn.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, and you?
Good. What you got for us tonight? What you got for us?
All right. So just to back up a little. What's that man? Chaotic. That man is funny with this whole he just make it say polyester, but he can't say polyamorous. I think that's hilarious. But I do like the show that he did, and I'm glad he's actually doing his music. I do think what's her name? The Black Kim Kardashian. What is her name?
Sierra?
No, not Sierra. She said the one girl, that's Erica's friend, Erica Banks' friend.
Erica Banks' friend.
That likes Chaotic too.
Oh,
Amy.
Oh,
Amy. Yeah, Amy. Yeah. Yeah, I do think she was with that dude to try to make Chaotic jealous and feel type of way. But he wasn't really paying him that much attention. Sierra, like I do agree with y'all with Sierra. She's paying more attention to Scrappy and Bambi's marriage than she's doing her own. And she needs to back off a little bit. And my other thing with this whole situation is too, everyone's saying a lot, but not saying what needs to be said. Why is no one saying that Mama D told everybody that Scrappy got Diamond pregnant?
Yeah, that's been skated over because
I think they forgot because it didn't got around.
Sierra said it is the only one that said it.
True.
Right. Like she should have said that to Diamond in that conversation, and that would have actually like shed some light to Diamond for that conversation. Now to the Erica Mena-ce of it all. Now I go back and forth with my relationship with Erica. I love her. I've been mad at her sometimes. I do agree with Dream that the table flip was deserved. I don't agree that she should have called her the blue monkey, but I do also think and not saying that it's with you guys, but I do think with social media in itself and fans that there's a little bit of selective outrage, because since Erica joined the show in season 2 of Love About New York, she's been saying nigga since she's been on the show.
Well, I mean, that's been up for debate too. I don't think it's been glossed over. It's just
A
but
lot of times people give people a pass if they show that they're a quote unquote ally, and a lot of times when they're Puerto Rican or Dominican, they give them a pass as well.
well, no, you know what I think it is. Honestly, I'll say this: some people we don't really be knowing who these people are. Daddy said he looked up Erica Mena. If he didn't come in here and say this, I would think that maybe she was Latina and Black, just because association and just that's just what I would think. I would never think we should probably start doing our research, right? But I would think that. But if when I find out that somebody is not Black, then it's like, oh hell no, because you got
like Fat Joe.
About Cardi B, right? Cardi B,
because I think with Erica, but the difference, like I know you guys brought up Evelyn Lasagna, but I think with Erica, the difference between Erica and Evelyn is that when Erica came on the show, she had pronounced that she was Afro-Latina, whereas Evelyn Lasagna never said that until the situation with OG happened. So Erica had always professed being Afro-Latina, even though I think he said that I guess it turned out she's not. But
did you know that
it's on the front? You could say she can, because you could say she kind of is. My issue with people like Erica, and I include Evelyn in this, is that they turn off the Afro part when it's convenient for them to blend into other spaces.
I know we're not saying Erica Mena is Afro-Latina. Is that what you said, Capricorn?
I'm saying that's what
she has said.
That's what she
had. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, when she first
saying the N word, the B word, none of them. They need to just not. It shouldn't be saying it.
Exactly. But
go ahead.
Selective outrage, to me, I think it's okay. I think it's okay that you can choose what is the line for you. And also, people watching the TV today on social media, watching this episode, may not have watched Love and Hip Hop New York back then when she was on it saying those things. So they may not even, you may have just educated people now in the comments that she was saying that stuff back then. They may not have known, because she hasn't done it since she's been on this show, on this franchise.
And then the last thing is, I know she's not on Love and Hip Hop no more, but I feel like a lot of people also give our girl Cardi B a lot of passes too.
That's what I'm saying.
And she said a lot of stuff too, and she's allegedly Afro-Latina as well. So I mean, I feel like we can't. It's hard to like say that this person should be fired because of this, but yet we still support this person over here for such. Just like I tell my friends in the LGBT community about the baby and Chick-fil-A, like y'all still eat at Chick-fil-A, but y'all saying y'all going to cancel the baby. And Chick-fil-A makes billboards that say our pickles don't touch.
I'm weak. Now I don't know nothing about that in that camera.
They have billboards.
I will say that when it comes to Cardi B, she definitely still catches heat for everything you just mentioned online. I do get what you're saying, that some people still choose to support her, but she doesn't go away unchecked for it.
For saying the N-word, I understand that, but Cardi B I haven't recalled.
Well, she's called a black woman a roach.
They
pulled up past tweets where she's called a black woman a roach before.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that. Yeah. I definitely feel like I kind of agree with what Danny said. I do feel like there may be, it's okay for selective outrage, because I didn't know that she called her a roach. For Cardi B, these are some things, but at the same time, people aren't. Listen, honey, like not honey, but like Black people, honestly, we're all different. A lot of times we're not all on the same page. There are people who hate themselves. There are some people who are going to allow a white person to say it with an A or an ER to them. So it's to each his own,
It's hard, I would say it's hard to really manage who the hell saying what and when they saying it and how long they've been saying it, because we don't know who these people are for real. But I would say this, in this moment, we saw her call this lady a blue monkey. We can't talk about the past. And in this moment, it's like you can make that decision, whether or not what she said something in the past, or whether or not you want to continue to support her, that's you. But based off of in this current moment, we see who she is. Like, we see how she feels. And apparently it's not the first time she said it. So, I
can tell you one thing. I don't want to have a mama that calls other people gorillas. And that's one thing that Erica Mena is never going to understand when her children grow up. And if they ever have any type of situations when it comes to race and people being rude to them, Erica Mena is never going to be able to understand, and actually fully feel their pain. and it's sick because she has Black kids, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay, Capricorn, we gotta let you go.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much for
having
calling
me.
in. Hope to see you next week again.
Yep.
Alrighty, thank you for calling in, Sir Capricorn. That was our last caller, so we can go ahead and get us out of here. Hey, Nadia.
With that being said, I hope everybody joins us next week so that we can pick up right where we left off and see how MTV either hopefully handles the situation or at very minimum see how the rest of the cast reacts to it and how she's held to the fire for it. So don't forget, we have Lunch and Lean tomorrow with Chase. I believe he's being joined by Sammy and Jasmine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Then come back to us on Monday for the first recap. Well, Monday's a holiday. I don't know if we'll be gonna.
So I think that we're going for the Real Housewives of Atlanta watchers, although this season's a drag. I believe we're going to actually have a show. It looks like we have some availability. So as of right now, per my conversation with some of the panelists, there will be a show on Monday. So we can
I'm free to join in if you need help.
Yeah, you can spend Labor Day with us. Bring some cocktails and shake it.
Tuesday, we have another recap with Real Housewives of New York with Jamie and that gang. And then back again next week for Love and Hip Hop. So Tez, Dream, thank you. It's been a dream of an episode with you both.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, follow us so you can get notifications when we have some last minute shows or because Salt Lake City is coming up. When's the first episode, Cortez? The first review for
Salt Lake City is it next Wednesday?
Yeah, I think so.
So I got to see what the time is. I don't know if it comes because it isn't Orange County on Wednesday too, right? Yeah. So I think that means that Salt Lake City is going to come on afterwards. So that means our recap
be
Thursday until it moves to that 8 o'clock. That slot, the slot. So. Just check the page. If you watch Salt Lake City, we're going to be recapping. It's going to be the same.
But then remember, we probably have to move Love and Hip Hop to 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, so that 9 o'clock can be.
Well, by the time that we start doing Salt Lake City on Wednesdays, I think Love and Hip Hop will be over.
Okay, cool.
They won't do that until Orange County gets off, and they're so it should work out. Yeah.
Well, everybody, we thank you for joining us. Can't wait to see y'all next week. Thank you so much for leaning in. And with that being said, we are leaning out.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.